We had a really big windstorm come through here a few days ago, and it took one of these large shrub roses of mine and blew it over. In fact, it even tore part of it over the ground here, as you can see, and this is what Rosie's pointing to right here. So the dogs are distraught. I'm not real happy about the whole thing. So I thought what we'd do is take advantage of this to show you a couple little tips that I have in order to go ahead and right this rose, fix it, and get this root system to regrow back over here on this side. This is the base of the rose here. The whole rose has been knocked over this way and is in fact pointing off in this direction. It's lying on the ground. Right here it's even been torn out a little bit. Some of the roots are missing. So what we're going to want to do is to straighten this up and then go ahead and put a stake in or something to support it for just a while these roots regenerate. Because like tops, when you cut them, roots when you cut them regenerate and grow new growth. So I'm going to dig out a little bit here with a shovel just to get myself a hole to get this down into so I can pile some dirt back on top. Put a stake in and then tie this in with some plant tie. Okay, I've dug out a little bit, only about 4 or 5 inches deep and just big enough so I have something to tip the rest of those roots back into so I can get some soil onto it. I'm just going to use an old tomato stake that I've got lying around. These are always real good for this kind of thing. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just very gently take this rose, pick it up. You just got to do this nice and slow, nice and easy. And then I can take a piece of plant tie. I'm going to tie it around some of the canes over here so I've got some support. Okay, we've now tied this in very nice and a very loose tie, by the way. It's nothing very firm here. I just want to support it. I don't really want to tie it in like a climber. I've mounted the extra soil up around the base. I'm even going to add a layer of mulch or something just to give it a little extra protection from the elements. Now, the next thing we're going to really do is just wait, basically, because this rose now has to sort itself out over time. I can't hurry it. I can give it some root tone or some root-type fertilizers to push it along a little bit, but that's all. I'm not going to worry about that. Periodically, I'll loosen the tie, see if the rose can stand on its own, but I would expect it to take even 2, 3, maybe even 4 months. I'm not going to worry about it. It'll take care of itself. Some people will advocate taking the rose and cutting it down a little bit. I don't see the point in that for this, because this rose right now has got healthy growth. I see no dieback, so why take away the food source it needs to make the new roots? I'm going to let the rose tell me what it wants to do. If it starts to die back, then I'll cut it back a little bit. But this rose at least now is straightened up. I know it's going to survive. It's going to be fine. As you can tell, Bonnie's a lot happier about the whole thing. So now what we're going to do is just wait and let the rose sort itself out. No digging there, okay? Those are new roots growing.